again, your work immersion teacher AJ at your service. So we are now on job interview. Today has come. You got a call for a job interview. Congratulations! But your work has only just begun. Right about now, you need some interview tips. Lucky for you, we've got a few good ones. Even the smartest and most qualified job seekers need to prepare for their job interview. Why do you ask? Interview skills are learned, and there are no second chances to make a great first impression. You know, first is always important, so make the best out of it. These interview tips will teach you how to answer interview questions and convince the hiring manager that you are the one for the job. So let's start. Okay, the first one is you have to research your potential employer, knowledge about the organization. So you're going to research the employer and the industry. So you are ready for the interview question. What do you know about this company? You should be able to find out a lot of information about the company's history, mission, values, staff, culture, and recent successes on its website, if there is. If the company has a blog and social media presence, they can be useful places to look to. Okay, tip. Along with reviewing what the company shares on its website and social media platforms, you can also search the company's name online. That will help you to turn up recent news coverage on the company. So it's very important that you know how to read, how to update yourself. So the company will not tell you their history, their organizations. It's your job. Okay, so it's your responsibility so that you will win the job interview. Okay, next is practice good nonverbal communication. So why is this nonverbal communication? What is this? What are this? These are the eye contact, the tone of voice, your movements, your gestures. You know, building rapport and making a personal connections with your interviewer can up your chances of getting hired. People tend to hire candidates they like and who seem to be a good fit for the company's culture. Remember, the company has its own culture. You know what's that culture? Their usual thing inside the company. So work on your eye contact. If you don't make eye contact, it can seem as though you are not interested. Okay, for example, we are talking like this, and then you are looking for something else. So, what do you think the interviewer will think of you? They think that you are not interested. Trying or you are trying to hide something. So, don't be like that, okay, during the interview. Next is keep your body relaxed, open, and fairly still. Okay, just relax and be confident. Do not move around and it seems that you are disturbed. It is a no-no. So this means if you are moving a lot, this means number of things. They will think of something else. They will judge you for what you are moving on or moving at. So you should relax and just have an eye contact and relax and smile. Okay. Also, what's your tone of voice? So, tone of voice is also very important when you are having an interview. You should be a relaxed voice. Oftentimes, Your tone of voice conveys more than the actual words used. So, and also face the interviewer. So, if you are going to have a virtual interview, you should uh, position your chair and your laptop or desktop level. Okay, just like this. Okay, half, and then look at the camera. It seems that you are talking to them, and then smile. Okay, so that is important. So practice that. Okay, you can do that in front of the mirror, or you can do that like this. You will have a um, record yourself and try to practice with the camera. Okay, next, dress for the job or company. So it is a dress code. You should be well groomed. So, hindi ka naman dapat pupunta sa company na para anong bibili ng suka or what. So, dressing for the job means you have to have a dress code. So, match with the nature of the company's work. So, show a public image of the business. So, do not wear a blouse that showing your stomach or showing your front. Okay, so for the girls, so it's not even the boys. There are some they are lowering the button and then you will see the body. It's not good dress code when you are having an interview. So you should be wear yourself in a proper wear, a casual wear, a very well groomed. So you should take a bath, prepare yourself. Okay, so you can also plan ahead what will you wear and then try to wear it and then look at the mirror. Okay, so mirror is will be your partner when you are preparing yourself for the job interview. Okay, next is listen. Observe your interviewer. So this is the problem oftentimes to you students. You don't listen. You, when you are listening, you should understand. Okay, so one of the most crucial interview tips is to listen. So when you miss some of the words or statement from the interviewer, you will be lost. Okay, so from the very beginning of the interview, your interviewer is giving you the information, either directly or indirectly. Meaning to say that they are most of the time they are reading your resume. They will tell you, "Oh, are you like this? Are you blah 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 blah." Indirectly, they will not look at your resume. They will just telling you something about you. So if you are not hearing those informations, you are missing a major opportunity. So good communication skills include listening. It's very important. So letting the person know you heard what was said or what was the interviewer told you. So observe your interviewer and match the style and pace. Okay. So when you are having an interview, you have to listen with the interviewer so that you will understand what is the question asked or what the instructions of the interviewer wanting you to do. So that is very important. So that is a common thing that I am always observing from you. You don't know how to listen. So practice to listen. Next is don't talk too much. What is that means? Anong ibig sabihin niyan? Huwag kang masyadong mayabang magkukwento. So you have to prepare for the interview. Do not too overboard. Okay, so telling the interviewer more than he needs to know could be a fatal mistake. So pag sumobra ka naman, hindi naman maganda pag sa interview. So when you have not prepared ahead of time, you may rumble when answering interview questions. So sometimes talking yourself right out of the job. So prepare for the interview by reading through the job posting, matching your skills with the position's requirements, and relating only that information. So if you're going to apply, so you have to look for the job description so that if they will ask you about the job, you have the idea. And then always prepare. Preparedness is very important. Readiness is very important when you are having an interview. Do not be too confident. You should be confident, but do not too much. And do not also talk a lot of things that is not necessary with the questions. Okay, always listen so that you will not talk a lot of things that is not necessary to the job interview. Next is don't be too familiar. So bring energy and enthusiasm. What does that mean? That don't be too familiar. Okay, so the interview is a professional meeting to talk business. So what does that mean? You don't have to. Sometimes I've seen a lot of interviewee when I was applying a job. One of those interviewee being too familiar with the place because he knew or she knew the people around there. So there is a recommendation. I think there is a recommendation from the people inside the company. So he just sitting like this, very familiar. You know, that's not appropriate. Okay, so having a job interview is not making a friend or making a friendship. So your level of familiarity should mimic. What do you mean by mimic? It should um, mimic means you are imitating something or your mannerisms. That's not good when having a job interview. So it is also important to bring energy and enthusiasm. Uh, it's a no-no that if you are having an interview and then you yell, oh, do not do that. Okay, and then also do not do this while during the interview. That okay, so always have the energy, have the enthusiastic uh, when having an interview, and but do not overstep. Okay, so you're placed as a candidate looking for a job. Remember, do not do overboard or do not too much. So just have yourself. Do not pretend. It's also not good to pretend something else. Okay, so hiring managers, interviewers, they knew already if you are memorizing the answers or if you memorize the answers of the questions. Okay, so next, use appropriate language. Use professional language. So since it is a business talk, a professional talk, so it is given that you should use a professional language during the interview. So do not include the word char. Okay, it's not appropriate. Be aware of any inappropriate slang words or reference to age, race, religion, politics, or sexual orientation. These topics could send you out the door very quickly. So do not include the taboo words. Okay, so you have. That is why it is important to research the company so that you can speak an information that is appropriate. Okay, the language. So do not use a Beka language. Do not use uh, the words that we are using like char, like yorme, or what do you call this, yung binabaliktad yung mga salita. Do not do that. Okay? So it's a professional talk, business talk, so you should be also using a professional language. Next is don't be brazen. Okay, so it means that don't be arrogant and harsh. Brazen means you is arrogant or harsh. There are some also telling you that don't be cocky. Cocky means arrogant or rude. So Attitude plays a key role in your interview success. So if you are boastful, what do you call this? Boastful or too arrogant, too rude, so too sobrang mayabang ba? Okay, so you know, interviewer, hiring manager, no, because some of them graduate of psychology, BS psychology, so they are mastered and expert how the people talk and how the people's um, move, so they can analyze that. So they are into that field. So be careful. Okay, and also there is a fine balance between confidence, professionalism, and modesty. So pag sobrang confident, pag sobrang tingin mo naman professional ka, sobrang yabang naman, and then modesty. Always have this heart. Okay, so be modest. And even if you are putting on a performance to demonstrate your ability, so do not overconfidence, showing your ability. It will lead you to a bad situation, if not worse, okay? As being too, pangit din naman, yung sobra ka namang tahimik, you're being too reserved. Sobrang nervous mo eh, hindi ka na nagsalita. It's not good also that you don't talk, you don't answer. So it's not good also. So all the interview tips in the world won't save you if you come off as unpleasant to work with. So kahit na anong dami ng mga magagandang tips para sa inyo to win the interview, to get the job rather. So if you uh, show to the interviewer the unpleasant things, it won't help you. So you have to balance. That is the important is balance. Your learning, your attitude, your composure, your movements, your gestures, your facial, what do you call this, facial expression. So you have to balance it. Okay, and number one is always smile, always smile. Okay, a genuine smile, not the fake smile. Okay, next, take care to answer the question. So elicit a sample of your past behavior. Okay, in this part, the question is the interviewer is giving you the a questions that asking you for some examples or some hypothetical questions that initiates your um behavioral actions or behavioral thinking. Okay, so sometimes it elicit uh, to the questions your past behavior. Okay, so if you fail to relate a specific example, so you have to be realistic. It should be experienced by you, not by other people. So if you are not, or if you fail to relate a specific example, you not only don't answer the question. That means for them, you did not answer the question. And also, you miss an opportunity to prove your ability and talk about your skills. So, that means, hindi na ikaw pumasok doon sa requirements or qualifications na hinahanap ng company because you missed to answer that asking you to elicit, to give an example, a specific example of your past behavior in a certain situation. So you should be careful with that. Next is ask questions. Answering no to the questions means you miss the opportunity. So never do not asking. You should ask at least one question. Okay, so part of knowing how to interview is being ready to ask questions. So that is why there is a tip that you should listen with what your interviewer is telling you, because they will ask you what are your questions. Sometimes there are some interviewers, they will just ask you that, tell me about yourself. And then after telling about yourself, they have questions. So that will be a chance or an opportunity for you to showcase your skills and strengths by asking questions. Okay, so it also demonstrates an interest what goes in the company. So by asking your questions, you are showing that you are interested with the company and with the job. Also, asking questions gives you the opportunity to find out if this is the right place for you. Okay, so the best questions come from listening to what you're asked during the interview and asking for additional information. So it is important to ask questions. Okay, anything that you would like to ask to the interviewer, as long as it is not arrogant, it is not rude, as long as it gives you the opportunity with that questions to showcase your strengths and your um skills. You may also ask that, um, what kind of employee you are expecting to do this kind of job. Pwedeng ganun mga questions. So you have to prepare with this part. So the questions that you are going to ask is depending on how you interact during the interview. Okay, next. Don't appear desperate. So don't appear na nagmamakaawa ka. So don't avoid, please, please hire me. Just be cool, calm, and confident. Um, if you will not be hired, it's okay. That is a part of the experience, that being rejected. So imagine there is only one position and then you have a lot of applicants for that position. So you should not beg uh, to the company or to the hiring manager to hire you. So you just show yourself your things that you can be a contributor to the company. So that is the important. So when you are doing that, being desperate or you appear desperate, that looks you will look less confident. Okay, so just remember the three C's: cool, calm, and confident. Okay? So alam ko, kinakabahan na yung iba sa inyo. Medyo nawawala yung pagka-cool, nawawala yung pagkakalma, and confident. Okay? So, basta, wag sobra, wag kulang. Okay, next is practice and be prepared. You know the importance of practice? It will help you to be prepared when you are practicing. Okay, do not be too confident that you are not prepared. So, it is very important. So, you know that you can do the job. It is given. But make sure that the interviewer believes you can. One way to do this is by preparing well thought out answers to questions they're most likely to ask. Okay, so that will be the end of our discussion about the tips on how to ace your job interview. So, students, good luck.